Cory, you know, how are you navigating this life now? You're a single father and keeping it, you know, positive with the kids. How you doing this?
Just love. Everything starts and ends with love, you know?
Yeah.
And we a family, you know what I'm saying? We a family. No matter what people say, I block out the noise. At least I block out all the noise. And, you know, my kids is gonna live to see all this one day.
And what I've realized is loneliness and solitude are two different things.
Totally.
So, yes, of course, there was this moment in time, you know, 2 years ago, where I just felt really alone. But I don't feel that way anymore because I have me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that really is the best connection and relationship that you can have ever.
Somebody needs to tell Tia Mowry that if you're truly happy, you don't gotta keep screaming it to the world. Because word on the block is she allegedly had a full-on breakdown when whispers started flying about Cory Hardrict's new wife and baby. And trust me, it's getting ugly. People out here saying there's even a leaked voice note that supposedly catches Tia spiraling in real time. On the outside, it looked like your typical ex-wife shade. A woman a little salty that her man moved on, trying to play it cool online. But this feels way deeper. We're talking about America's old sitcom sweetheart cracking in public like she back in some high school drama all over again. For months, Tia been pushing this whole I'm free, I'm glowing, I'm healed storyline, acting like she living her best life. But behind closed doors, allegedly, sis is still watching Cory's every move, still wishing she had him back, but way too proud to say it out loud. That's why people saying her whole image right now is smoke and mirrors. Let's break it down, messy Sunday dinner style. On the polished public side, Tia still playing the Hallmark movie role. She posts those soft life clips, smiling with her kids, preaching about self-love, growth, and new chapters. Scroll through her Instagram and you'd swear she floating on clouds, sipping matcha, burning sage, and vibing to Erykah Badu all day. That's the story she's selling. I'm unbothered, I'm blessed, I'm too busy living to care what Cory's up to. But the streets, they painting a whole different picture, and it ain't as glossy as she wants it to be. This team keeps pushing that polished, I'm glowing, I'm healed angle because it sells. Let's be real. No brand wants to cut checks to somebody who looks bitter and messy. They want Tia locked inside that neat little sitcom box. The wholesome twin, the sweet family girl next door. But behind the curtain? Allegedly, sis ain't as calm and zen as those captions make her look. Word is, she's been spiraling hard. People in the streets swear she still got eyes on Cory heavy, still tracking his every move, still secretly hoping the door ain't all the way shut. And now that Cory stepped out with a whole new wife and baby, whew, they say it shattered Tia's cool completely. The whispers about that leaked voice note, folks claiming it's the raw, uncut Tia, salty, emotional, maybe even begging Cory to come back around. Nobody's buying the healed queen narrative anymore. The streets say she's still hurt, and no amount of soft life captions or PR spin can clean that up. Forget the Instagram filters. The energy just ain't matching the storyline. The graceful divorce act is crumbling and everybody's peeping it loud and clear. Cory not even painted as the villain. He's looking like the prize who moved on, leveled up, and kept it cute, while Tia's stuck performing peace for Instagram but allegedly breaking down behind the scenes. So yeah, in the media, she's trying to crown herself the glow-up queen, but in the group chats and the barbershops, she's reading as the ex who fumbled a good man and can't let go. Period. If that voice note ever hits the net, it won't be about whose narrative wins. It'll be straight receipts. Cold, undeniable proof that Tia's still stuck on Cory. No spin, no filters, just raw salt on display. But let's connect the dots because this ain't some random meltdown out of nowhere. If you trace Tia's steps, the sign's been building up for years, leading right to this moment. Go back to 2022 when Tia shocked the world with that divorce bomb. She hit social media like she was dropping a movie premiere. Perfectly crafted posts, polished carousels, captions that read like Pinterest quotes about choosing happiness. The internet cheered, clapping for her like, yes, sis, put yourself first.
Intelligence is just so important.
I
you know, to
understand
me,
that.
you being mindful of just who you are, your behaviors, your traumas, your triggers. Are you in therapy?
That's a good one.
Are you kind, you know?
But even then, the streets were side-eyeing, like, nah. Something about the way she rolled it out felt way too polished to be pain. That announcement wasn't giving heartbreak vibes, it was giving rollout energy. Fast forward a few months and Tia dove headfirst into her single era. Suddenly, she's posting thirst traps, hopping on goofy TikToks, and pushing out all those I'm so free videos that low-key looked more like a midlife spiral than a glow-up. Now don't get it twisted, she got every right to live her life. But people noticed quick that sis looked more obsessed with proving she was winning online than actually living that piece offline. And then came the interviews, the ones where she brushed off questions about Cory with that awkward laugh. Folks caught it immediately. That chuckle wasn't confidence. It sounded forced, like she was trying to laugh away the sting. Those answers always felt rehearsed, like she'd practiced them in the mirror before the cameras rolled. Meanwhile, Cory kept it cool, moving in silence, barely saying a word. And then, boom, he pops out with a brand new wife. And suddenly it's Tia who looks like she can't let go. That's pattern number 3 if you're keeping score. Sis got a real obsession with attention. Since the divorce, she's been all over the blogs, feeding them with cryptic captions, oversharing moments, and serving up her kids like photo ops. Now don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with showing love to your babies, but when every other post feels like a PR stunt to scream, I'm good without him, people start side-eyeing. You don't need a therapist to figure it out. Maybe she's not as good as she wants us to think. That's why this voice note rumor ain't shocking at all. It fits the script perfectly. Back when she first said she was choosing happiness, the timing felt messy. After that, she staged her glow-up era, but the energy was reading desperate. And now, allegedly, she's snapping on a voice note about Cory and his new wife. Same playbook, just a louder, messier chapter. The streets see it plain. Tia's breakups always come dressed up with filters, inspirational captions, and a sprinkle of denial on top. And if this voice note is real, that denial might have just leaked raw on tape. To a lot of folks, it only confirms what's been whispered since 2022. Sis don't really want to move forward. She want to circle back. But let's be fair for a second, because while it's easy to clown Tia for maybe slipping on that mic, you can still see where the hurt comes from. 14 years of marriage ain't no fling. That's real history, real love, and walking away from that, it leaves scars that don't heal overnight. That's a whole chapter of life right there. 14 years, 2 kids, and the Hollywood grind side by side. To walk away from all that, no amount of self-love captions can erase the sting. And just because she's the one who filed doesn't mean she stopped missing the man. So let's flip the lens for a second. Maybe Tia ain't losing it. Maybe she's just human. Think about the optics. Cory went ghost after the divorce, moving like a shadow, laying low while the dust settled. Meanwhile, Tia had to keep the whole image polished. She was the one sitting in interviews, smiling through the pain, selling the conscious uncoupling fairy tale. That's pressure for real. She had to be strong, poised, and graceful, while Cory healed in silence and then popped out fresh with a new wife like nothing happened. And if you look at it that way, maybe she earned the right to break down behind closed doors. Maybe that alleged voice note is the first glimpse of Tia not performing, not polished, just raw emotion spilling out. So if she really did snap, and if that tape hits the internet, it won't be read as healing. It'll flip the script instantly. Suddenly, she's not the strong mama bear anymore. She's the bitter ex who can't let go. And you already know how the internet plays. Once they smell blood, it's non-stop. Her glow-up story collapses, her brand turns messy, and the same people who cheered her for choosing happiness will be the ones laughing, saying, "See, she still wants him." So while we can defend her humanity and give her grace, we can't ignore the risk. Tia's entire image been built on elegance and balance, and one slip could shatter it all. All it takes is one messy voice note, just one hint of desperation, and the internet will rewrite Tia's whole story overnight. Instead of the queen who gracefully moved on, she instantly becomes the ex-wife who fumbled the bag. And let's be real, no Instagram caption, no soft life reel can fix that crown once it slips. That's the gamble right here. Either people see a woman who finally cracked after holding it together too long, or they see a woman who can't even practice the peace she preaches. Either way, it's messy, and both versions expose something deeper. Maybe the grass wasn't so green on the side she crossed over to. This ain't just about some leaked voice note or salty late-night tears. This is about Tia Mowry's entire legacy being put on the line. Let's not forget who we're talking about. This is Tia from Sister, the twin who grew up in our living rooms, who built a family, and who always carried herself as the polished one. For 30 years, that's been her brand. The classy twin, the balanced star, the one who kept it cute when everybody else got messy. But one slip, one unfiltered audio leak, and suddenly that crown starts looking crooked. If that tape really catches her spazzing, salty, and begging over Cory's new wife, oh, the internet will eat her alive. Picture the memes, the TikToks, the split-screen edits of her "I'm healed" posts right next to meltdown audio. It'll be brutal. And in that scenario, Cory doesn't just look like he moved on. He comes out looking like the man who leveled up, while Tia's stuck replaying the past. That's the nightmare scenario for Tia. Her whole glow-up narrative crashes down, her polished brand takes a hit, and she flips from America's sweetheart to America's messy ex-wife. But let's not forget, there is a best-case angle if she plays it smart. If she takes control before the leak, owns it, and even laughs at herself, like, yeah, I snapped, I'm human, I hurt, but I'm healing. That could actually work in her favor. Because let's be real, everybody's had that one ex they didn't fully let go, that one late-night text, that voicemail you regret sending, that moment of weakness you wish you could erase. If Tia frames it like that, she could flip the script completely, from bitter to relatable. People love when celebs drop the filters and show their messy, vulnerable side. It makes them human. But here's where the sting cuts deep. For years, the narrative was Cory was the lucky one, the quiet actor who landed the star wife. Now, the tables turned. Cory's the one looking peaceful, happily remarried, moving on clean. Meanwhile, Tia, the bigger name, the bigger star, is the one catching heat, looking pressed and stuck. The streets already stacking her up against other celebrity women who fumbled public perception when it came to love. Mariah Carey with Nick Cannon, Toni Braxton with Birdman, even Wendy Williams unraveling after Kevin Hunter. The pattern is clear. When a woman who seemed like she had it all starts slipping, the culture eats it up with no mercy. So what's next? Either Tia rides out this storm, reclaims her crown, and somehow spins the leak into a comeback. Or she lets the internet box her in as the ex who couldn't move on. No in between. Her legacy as the classy twin is hanging by a thread. The ultimate irony? She spent years shouting that she was free. But if this leak is real, it might prove she's still trapped. Not by Cory, but by her own pride. So, what do you think? Is Tia about to flip this storm into a comeback, or is her crown about to slip for good? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.